Dirt, dust, and mold all just drive us crazy when it comes to camera sensors. There's nothing worse than seeing black specks all over your footage. But that's not the black spots Canadian photographer Joel Robinson saw in his viewfinder. Bet you'll look twice next time you look through your camera viewfinder after that picture, huh? Yeah, just creepy. A new generation of Imax cameras are now in development. Imax announced plans to release 4 new cameras, with the first one coming out in 2023. It's working in collaboration with Panavision, Kodak, and Photochem on the project for things like camera maintenance, film stock, manufacturing, and post-production. Now, we don't know all the details of what these cameras will offer, but it is expected to be an improvement on the current 65mm film cameras. We do know the new cameras will include a quieter design and a series of new features that enhance usability. And there should be some major upgrades to the current cameras and lenses as well. All of these new features and developments should pave the way for new filmmakers to utilize Imax technology, and it's an exciting addition to cameras that have drawn audiences in for decades. In a statement, Megan Colligan, the president of Imax Entertainment, said, "From our connected global network to Imax Enhanced for the home, the Imax experience provides a more expansive creative canvas than ever, and these new film cameras will enable a new generation of creators, along with those who already love working with the cameras, a better way to unlock the power of Imax." And if that's not enticing enough, 2 of the most talked about directors of the past decade are helping with the design of the new cameras. None other than Christopher Nolan and Jordan Peele are among a group of major directors weighing in on the developments. Nolan and Peele both have highly anticipated movies coming up that were shot on the Imax 65mm cameras. And when asked about what it means to collaborate with Imax, Jordan Peele said, "IMAX is movie magic pushed to its limits. When you see a film in an IMAX theater, it feels like you are there. It's complete immersion and there's nothing quite like it. And we are only at the beginning, and there's still so much to be explored in this format." In addition to Nolan and Peele, Imax is consulting some of the top cinematographers in the industry as well. And I, for one, can't wait to see what comes next in the Imax technology. Or to see Nolan's Oppenheimer in 2023 and Peele's Nope later this year. They look excellent. Show me the money. That's what Vimeo is telling content creators who built their audience and library on the platform. Filmmakers and independent creators are claiming the company is threatening to delete their content if they don't pay up. Apparently, if you're using up too much bandwidth, you'll be asked to work with Vimeo in creating a custom plan. And some creators are getting quotes around $3,500. This change does fall in line with the assumption that the company is starting to make a shift with business objectives. Last year, Vimeo went independent as a publicly traded company, so this is likely one of the growing pains coming from that move. In a letter sent to shareholders, the company elaborated on how it would be modifying its business identity to be stronger, more self-aware, and more disciplined. In a statement, Vimeo said, "Today we are a technology platform, not a viewing destination. We are a B2B solution, not the indie version of YouTube." Now, Vimeo does operate different from most other video platforms because it's ad-free and subscriber supported, and the Plus, Pro, Business, and Premium plans really cover the cost for Vimeo to experiment with new features and provide video storage and playback options. But it's definitely making the move to mainly serve businesses. So Vimeo content creators, come on over to YouTube. It's free. Sony is entering the fight for authenticity and media transparency. The media company joined the Coalition for Content, Provenance, and Authenticity, or the C2PA for short. Use C2PA as a steering member. The coalition was created to help creators and consumers understand the source and history of digital content. The C2PA announced the first version of its technical specifications recently, and it's an open standard that empowers global content creators and editors to create tamper-evident media. Creators will be able to opt in and selectively disclose information about who created or changed digital content and how it was altered. For right now, this seems like it'll be helpful in identifying misinformation, which we all know the internet is chock full of. But it'll make its way down to YouTube content creators eventually, and it'll be interesting to see how a media giant influences these standards and what it really looks like in action. This week's rumor mill rundown takes us to a place we don't talk much about around here, Nikon. A recently filed patent shows the company is designing a new type of sensor that acts as both a rolling shutter and global shutter. This really would give users the best of both worlds. Essentially, the sensor would use global shutter to focus and then switch back to rolling shutter when it's time to capture the image. This would hopefully eliminate electronic noise that compromises dynamic range and your final image quality. And that's something you experience a lot with global shutter. So it'd be cool to have a camera that takes advantage of global shutter when focusing in on a fast-moving subject, but switches back to rolling shutter for the shot. And it doesn't look like it would be be limited to just the autofocus system. It's important to note that this isn't the first time Nikon has filed a patent for this type of sensor, but honestly, that's all we really know so far. So it'll be interesting to see just how Nikon moves forward and what this looks like in a new camera. The Canon rumors continue, and this time for equipment that will put your gear into the sky. Canon rumors first spotted a patent request that shows a camera similar to the small sensor systems used in most of the consumer market drones, like the one from DJI. This isn't the first time Canon has dabbled in the drone market. Back in 2017, they introduced a drone and even released this video demonstrating it. However, the drone pretty much just disappeared from the market. You can still see the video, but there's no webpage or any other real documentation for it. So is it even real? But let's talk about what the patent shows for this new version. It seems to take many cues from the older model, but with an even smaller design. The camera unit looks a lot like a security camera, to be honest. Unlike multi-jointed gimbal systems used in DJI's models, the Canon unit seems fully housed within a half-sphere shaped body. This design means the camera could change its point of view without adjusting the entire drone. A lot to unpack in all the sketches, but it does look like an interesting take on the consumer level drone. And as a bonus, the patent indicates the camera unit itself is interchangeable, so there may be a bit more customization opportunity available. We'll see. Canon has a ton of rumors these days. Now let's talk lenses. If you got a few extra dollars, we've got the lens for you. Cooke Optics announced a series of smaller, lighter lenses with a maximum t1.4 aperture and imaging circle that covers full frame sensors. The S8i series includes 16 lenses, all expected to be available by the end of the year. Now, these lenses are a unique endeavor for Cooke. The series features a completely new full frame optical design for modern large format cinema cameras. The design is much more compact and lightweight than previous models, but still maintains a wider maximum aperture than other models from the company. This series is a perfect blend of classical optical design and sophisticated tech. Features include data real-time focus and iris position, motion inertial data, and maps factory calibrated shading and distortion. The lenses are easy to switch out and make it a great option if you have a wide range of shooting situations. Straight out of the box, these come in a PL mount, but you can adapt them to mirrorless cameras with an adapter. The entire lineup isn't available yet, but you can go ahead and pre-order 7 of the lenses, including the 255mm, 75mm, and 135mm, but it's definitely going to cost you. Most of the lenses come in at $34,650, and the 135mm will cost you more than $36,000. So start saving up. And oh baby, these lenses are fun. Lens Baby announced the new Soft Focus 2. It's a 50mm lens that gives off a true vintage feel and offers some pretty cool creative effects, meaning you can quickly adjust to make sure your image really matches your subject matter. So here's the main info you need to know. The Soft Focus 2 has an f2.5 to 22 aperture range. It's got a minimum focus distance of 38 centimeters, and you can take advantage of a 45-degree field of view when it's on a full frame camera. If you're shooting at a faster aperture, you'll see a narrower, flat field of focus with soft, dreamy images. One quick note though, you must have the Lens Baby Composer to use this lens, and starting at $179, it means that you can add another creative option to your lens collection without dropping a lot of cash, like the Cooke lenses. Speaking of dropping a lot of cash, I wouldn't want to upload anything to Vimeo that might make you pay a lot of money just for people to watch your videos. Find out more why Vimeo doesn't want you on their platform anymore.